Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Quite a 24 hours in the world of football. Thank you very much for all of your tweets. A lot about the Clasico, a lot about Lionel Messi.
Oh, what is it? Does it mention Ronaldo?
Where was Messi hiding? Did they find him yet? Not his best game.
No. People just can't wait to pile in. No matter what this guy's done for over a decade, he only has to have one quiet day at the office, and they all pile in. It's quite scary, really, how small-minded some people are over this matter.
Gab, there's the link.
Maybe he was told that Cristiano was up in the stands with a little Messi hex doll, and maybe that worked. I don't know. Or maybe the dude just had a bad game. It happens.
I know exactly.
Vinicius is the first teenager since Messi to score at El Clasico. Gab, can he be the real deal?
Well, obviously, they spent a ton of money on him, and then all of a sudden he wasn't even the best teenage Brazilian forward at Real Madrid because Rodrigo got all that time. I think he's somebody who's still raw. I think you saw that even in that game. He still made mistakes, and this is when it's good to remind ourselves that the guy is just 19 years old. I know it feels like he's been at Real Madrid for, well, I suppose it's the second season, but he's got kinks he needs to iron out. I think it did him good when he was dropped from the first team for a while. But look, he shows up and he's on a team with Gareth Bale, Eden Hazard. Those are great people to learn from, to look up to, and I think he's got another level to go to, no question about it. Maybe more than one.
Steve, you were suggesting maybe he was a little lucky in the goal.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought the goal, had it not come off the shin of Piqué, I think.
Did he not plan for that shin though?
Oh, hey, listen, sometimes you get a bit of luck. You know what I liked about him was he kept at it. He didn't hide. You know, he had so many opportunities down that side against Semedo one-on-one, and he tried to go inside him, he tried to go outside him. Sometimes he should have passed when he would try and beat him. It comes with experience, and you only get that by playing. But you've got to learn from it. You know, it's one thing to make a decision during a game and then keep repeating it game after game. It's another thing to learn from it and change that.
Why Stevie keeps saying that Ramos isn't world class?
How many times am I going to say that?
He's won 4 Champions League, a World Cup, Euros, La Liga. Yet Stevie doesn't consider him world class.
He's not world
class. According to him, Van Dijk is world class by just winning a single Champions League.
Right. I'll repeat this for the 3,000th time. When you've got two... Listen, defending is about decision making. Right? Ultimately. Because when it's past you, they're on the goalkeeper. So you have to be cool. You have to be controlled. Now, when you say cool and controlled, does that remind you of Ramos? How do you get 200...
But clearly he has been cool and controlled, or else he wouldn't have won all of this.
How do you get 260...
Well, he didn't win them.
They didn't carry him, did they?
Well,
he was a key part of their success.
Hold on. You're snashing over the main point.
Slashing,
If you're cool, calm, collected, and in control,
yes,
you don't get 262 yellow cards and 26 red cards. It's the complete opposite of cool, calm, and in control.
But isn't that just part of his DNA?
And by the way, in order to get so many yellow cards, it means you have to foul people, which means either they've beaten you or you're in the wrong position to start with.
So he's lucky. Is he lucky to have won all of these things? All these things? Is he just lucky?
Maybe
I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Maybe he's fortunate to be on great teams.
But you don't just rock up and you're lucky to come in, are you?
Explain the 262 yellows then, Dan.
Just
please.
Part of him, isn't it?
Oh, part of him. And by the way, that part of him is not world class.
But
there you go.
It's a CV that you can't argue against. Well, I don't understand why it would rile you up.
Well, listen, if you don't think what I've just told you makes any difference, then I'm wasting my time.
I think it's just part of who he is, isn't it, as a player?
But that's 262 yellows and 26 red cards. There's somebody who's got red mist and coming through his ears and in his brain. What part of that is world class?
Well, it doesn't matter if you've won everything that he has, surely. What would you prefer,
I'm not
Steve?
gonna-
What would you prefer?
I
His
can't
C-
argue with you.
Would you prefer his CV, or would you have preferred to have won him less?
Listen, I've never said anything was wrong with his CV,
Right.
and I've told you he's a good player. I'm just telling you, he's not a world-class player.
Be interesting to know how many yellow cards and red cards somebody like Paolo Maldini would have had.
Yeah.
Because I would consider him
World class.
a world-class somebody in the art of defending, amongst others.
Do you know who might know that?
Maybe Gab will be able to tell me roughly.
I don't know. I'm sure it's a lot less than Sergio Ramos, who I think is one of the top 3 in the history of football, maybe even top 2 by this stage. Like, you're setting the bar kind of high with Maldini from that perspective, but could it not be that Sergio Ramos is just an incredibly atypical defender, and he brings so many other attributes to the table that, from Real Madrid's perspective, they make up for the fact that he gives away yellow and red cards, and sometimes his positioning isn't what it should be, and he gambles too much and is rash and whatever. But on balance, all the other attributes make him a world-class player.
Hold on. So part of the remit for being a world-class player is being rash and overextending yourself
No,
and
it's
making
not.
poor decisions. I mean, come on,
Wait.
Gab. Come on, Gab.
No, but Stevie,
Seriously.
you must have played. You must have played with guys who maybe were one-footed, or who maybe had something that there was maybe something very basic that they just couldn't do particularly well, but then they could do other things so well that the manager always had them in the lineup, because the good things that they did far outweighed their weaknesses. Right? It's part of football. Maybe this is what Sergio Ramos is.
Next question. What does Mourinho have to do to make people happy? He was winning games earlier with a defensive mindset, which was not acceptable. Today he played modern football, quote unquote, and he lost. People are still unhappy. Is Mourinho the only problem here, Gab?
Oh, he's not the only problem. But Mourinho didn't change the way he played because people were unhappy with it. Good managers don't do that. Great managers don't do that. And certainly a guy like Jose Mourinho doesn't do it. If he changed against Wolves today, and by the way, I'm not sure how much he changed, because he took the lead and then they got back into it. I'm sure he wanted to win the game. If he changed, it's because he thought it would give Spurs the best possible chance of winning this match. I think it's as simple as that. And the reality is, he took over a team that, as he'll remind you many times, was 14th on the table. Now they're, 7th, kind of knocking on the door, depending on whether Sheffield United win their game in hand and depending what happens elsewhere. And today a game got away from him. That's all it is. And you can't have it both ways. The fact of the matter is, they weren't particularly good and won games earlier. Today they played better and they lost a game. But it's not because Mourinho decided, people are being critical of me, let me change the way I play. No, he's going to do what he always does. He puts out the best team to get the result that he needs. And I'll tell you what, he wouldn't have been happy with a draw against Wolves. He wanted to win this because Wolves are a direct opponent in Spurs' hunt for a Champions League spot.
They got beat, didn't they?
Yes.
Now, what Gab meant he wouldn't have been happy with a draw, so he was going for the win.
Beg your pardon, Gab.
They arguably played a more cohesive team than Wolves.
Yeah.
But they have lost just 3 straight games now. One, of course, was in the Champions League. So, I don't know.
What would make people happy? How about after a game he doesn't talk the biggest lot of nonsense?
It wasn't too bad today. It wasn't too
I had
nonsensical.
no idea what he was talking about.
What did you do to occupy yourself off the pitch when you were struggling? Did you play golf, read, eat, drink beer? Or I can see Stevie and Craig meditating to clear their minds. Did you ever meditate, Stevie?
Struggling as in poor form.
Yes.
Nothing changed.
No.
No, you didn't do anything to try and...
All those things aforementioned, apart from the meditation. No change.
What did you use to read?
I was reading involved.
There is reading involved.
The newspaper.
I used to read the Viz.
Did you?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
It's fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Anybody, if you can find
Yeah,
a
if you're
copy of his,
if you're over 18 and can
recommend
find
Do
it.
you remember back in the day? I'll say back in the day, it's not. I think it's just general now. You would go in the dressing room in the morning, training ground, during the week, whatever, and everybody come in, either had a paper or was reading a newspaper.
Right. Yeah.
It's just not, unfortunately for the newspaper industry, which everything's just changing now, but nobody's just, something to be said with coming in with a paper.
and on Saturday it was the racing paper.
Now it's the phone. Now it's the phone.
Would Stevie be a VAR operator?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they pay you to go in there.
Absolutely. Yes.
Why'd your voice go a bit high? Yes. Who is the captain of ESPN FC? I don't think there is a captain, is there? Captain. I think we're all just a team working together to provide the best product on a daily basis.
Well, that's spoken like a captain.
Predictions for tomorrow's FA Cup match between Pompey and Arsenal. Starting with you, Gab.
I would imagine Arsenal have this because there's several divisions above Portsmouth.
Ian Darkwood, he's a big Pompey fan, isn't he, Ian?
So yeah, Ian's a massive
He's
Pompey
a
fan.
massive Pompey fan, so but Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal as well. Unfortunately, we finish on a negative note. Atlanta have confirmed that Joseph Martinez has torn his ACL. So, of course, miss now probably all of the season. Thank you very much, gentlemen. ESPN FC then returns tomorrow, as we mentioned. Portsmouth taking on Arsenal. We'll be here to bring you all the reaction to that. I've heard a rumour that Xhaka is back from holiday. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.